Let's come, we've had some fun.
It's time for the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. Here with a load of laughs, info, and fun, it's Tony B, Dave B, and Timmy D.
Before I go alone. Don't ask me this and one more song. It ain't too costly, no, I ain't too cheap, so just relax. I'm on my knees.
Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen Podcast, episode number 140. My name is Tony B. Alongside me, as usual, is David B. We've got a couple topics today in the music of 1994. Dave's real excited about it. He's reviewed the list, studied the list, listened to every hit on there. He spent weeks listening to every song on that list.
It's embarrassing.
David B., happy Saturday morning to you.
Good Saturday morning to you, producer Tony.
You can catch us on all the platforms. The views of Ship's Gonna Happen is purely the views of Ship's Gonna Happen. It's not expressed by any other business entity or anything. It's just two dudes that are in the trucking industry, right?
Kinda. Yeah, a little bit.
And we do it for what?
Transportainment.
Kaboom! David B., happy Saturday morning to you,
Good Saturday morning to you, producer Tony. I got to admit, I'm a little surprised that we're here this morning. I'm glad we're here this morning, but we'll get into why I'm surprised that we're sitting here this morning. I noticed in the neighborhood coming over PT that it was a smidge early, and I thought, I'm going to kind of roll in the back way here that most of the yards, not yours, but most of the yards got a lot of brown. We're in a smidge of a drought around the Indianapolis area, and producer Tony has the 19th green looking as the 19th green should in this drought era. I've got to give you credit, my man. I don't know how you do it. I don't know what it takes, if you're out there to manicure the yard, but you've done an excellent job. It looks so good. You couldn't tell. I mean, you look a yard to, one side, or if you look a yard across the street, you're like, oh, we're definitely in a bit of a drought. But on the 19th green, there is no indication that we're in any sort of, yes.
We're in a wet county right here.
Right. It is moist.
Yes.
So, but anyway, we got some rain coming in today. It's a rare, I think this is the only time, producer Tony, that like the third time maybe that we've done the podcast on Saturday mornings, which is actually it was raining on me coming down here. So, but still, I mean, the 19th green is looking awesome. And, last night I stopped in at the Great Divide and they assured me that if it's not up now, it's going to be back up. Our billboard, we want to thank the Great Divide for doing everything that they do. They're at 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go after Ship's Gonna Happen week. Great place to go to kind of unwind, get a great meal. You get some excellent drinks.
Yeah. Chat
it up with the locals. Jen and her staff doing a great job of taking care of us. And if you're ever in the Indianapolis area, make sure you stop by the Great Divide. Just a perfect spot to go. And producer Tony, how are you on this? Let's get into why I think you're maybe a little on the sluggish side. Like both of us are kind of sluggish, but not normally for you on a Saturday morning. What'd you do last night?
Oh man, big night for me. It's the kickoff of the 2 nights with Dave Matthews at the Ruoff Center. So
nice.
Yeah, it was nice crowd, packed. Just beautiful. We got in there a little early, got sat down in our chairs, relaxed. It was a good show. It was really good.
So you had reserved seats then?
No, we can. The gates open at last night at 5:30. We got in at like probably 6:30, and he's gonna go off at 7:45. So that was early for us. Usually people tailgate the parking lot and then kind of come in, 20 minutes before he's going to come on, and then it's kind of a rush to fill in the top that's empty.
Mm-hmm.
So, but down on the front of the lawn, if you can get on the front of the lawn, it's one of the best seats.
Okay.
Very hard to do. You have to be literally one of the first to get in, to walk in.
Mm-hmm.
So we were probably lower grass section on the top outside of the lower quarter of it. Yeah, it was a good seat. It was a good time.
The show was good.
Oh yeah. It was. He played tonight. He'll play some of the older hits and stuff. He played a lot. He played some new stuff last night. I don't know any of it. He played Ants Marching. It was good. All of his music's good. It's like seeing a big band, that plays rock. It's just the flute, the cello. There'd be so many instruments in his band, right? And most of them play multiple instruments. So it's always a good time. It's always a good show. Never been disappointed.
Did you see Matty Ice?
Did not, but I did see him at the James Taylor concert in the parking lot as we were leaving.
All right. So when was James Taylor, if you don't mind me asking?
Man,
Sorry.
that was like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month, maybe. It was on a weeknight.
Oh.
It was actually, I'm not the biggest James Taylor fan, but I'm going to tell you, dude, that was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. The dude is a class act.
80? How old is James Taylor?
He's 76. I think I looked it up. 70. He's around my dad's age. Yeah, I was shocked.
You saw Matty Ice at James Taylor. I could see
James
Matty
Taylor
Ice
in the
at I
parking
could
lot.
see both of you at the James Taylor.
Loved it. It was chill. I was one of the youngest people at the James Taylor concert.
So, I feel weird that I'm asking this. Does anybody open for Dave Matthews?
No.
Okay,
That's
that's
why I
kind of a
love it.
dumb question.
That's why I love it, though.
You don't. Yeah.
Because me and Shelby went to Maroon 5.
I don't know what that is.
Maroon 5? You know who they are, right?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sugar Putts. Not the Def Leppard one. But, yeah, it was weird.
what was weird about it?
It's just weird.
Was it like
It
going
was
to
way
see?
late.
Was it like going to see Rancid, or was it like?
Which
is weird. Well, I mean, I'm trying to gauge your level of awareness here.
I probably,
what was the more weird crowd?
You know what?
Rancid or
I probably would rather see Rancid. Not really, but they were good. It was just voice sounded weird. It was good though. It was a good concert. It was with my daughter. That was the best part.
No. Yep.
But we were both kind of ready to go. We left a little early, so. But I'm glad we did.
You didn't leave early last night, though,
No,
did you?
we did not.
So and you're there again today, right?
And yeah, we're going to go a little earlier today because Ann always gets a poster.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She always gets a poster, and we could not get a poster last night. They were sold out, and we were there kind of early, so we're going to have to get in there pretty early tonight. We're going to have to get there right when the gate opens.
Text Matty Ice, let him know you're going, dude.
I did.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't texted me back.
My bad.
Yeah. Maybe I don't have maybe I have his old YRC number.
I don't know.
Do you have it?
Bear with me. Sorry.
Well, we can get it after.
I gotta put my glasses.
Yeah.
Shoot, I didn't bring. Sorry, I didn't.
Don't
bring
worry
my
about it.
phone.
We can get it. We can get it after. We can get it after, David.
Jeez.
But yeah, I want to hook up with him.
but
I sent him 2
That
texts
has
here.
to be. So you don't. When you go, you're not part of the tailgate though. If you were,
You'd have to. You can get in there earlier and tailgate, but
that has to be. My point being,
it's
that
huge.
has to be a huge
it's
tailgate.
huge. Yeah, like David, there's people that probably don't make it in.
That's what you read You read my mind. Yeah. That's where I was going next with that. Somebody in this room is known to go and tailgate a lot and not get into where they're going.
Yeah. Because you can hear it in the parking lot.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, you can
All
hear
right.
his music in the parking lot. It's
think
not going to be
I
the best
would,
sounding.
As opposed to
And some of the radio stations, satellite, pick up the live concerts, and you could, if that's going to play, sometimes they'll play it live. He has his own station on Sirius XM. So yeah, so I think they're not a sponsor.
yeah, no, hashtag not sponsored.
If you're listening from Sirius Radio,
but we could
contact us immediately.
Yes.
Click. Yeah, but so, but he's got his own satellite station. I don't know if you looked through Sirius's lineup in a while.
No, I mean if it's not no.
A lot of them have their own stations now. The artists that are Hall of Famers. Mm-hmm. He's one of them, so he or going to be inducted. He's got his own station. We have it dialed in. We got it free for a while, so we got it dialed in. So sometimes they pick up his live concert.
I'm overly intrigued by radio. To me, radio is the media, just my own opinion, and I'm surprised I don't have satellite radio because I like that
pretty awesome.
variety. Yeah, no, completely. I always did want it when I was younger. I've never
free.
gotten it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why, but
Well,
I'm intrigued by that lineup. That's pretty cool to hear that, though. I didn't realize that. And to your point, I'm going to have to check out that channel or whatever, because now I'm super intrigued.
There's bands that you like that have their own channels. So,
Okay. I like Dave Matthews.
Ozzy's got
I'm
his
not
own.
a Dave Matthews like you and Matty Ice, but I went to Louisville with a gal that's in the industry. I don't know, probably 15 years ago, but I didn't give it the appreciation that I'm just like, I'm here to see Dave Matthews.
Hamburger, no hamburger.
Producer Tony. Producer Tony.
D has to have court shot, dude.
Producer Tony from Deep 3. Yeah.
That's Caitlin Clark's shot.
That is right there, my friend. I just didn't give it I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Instead of I'm here to see Dave Matthews,
Yeah.
I should have appreciated it more, and I didn't.
Well, I get it, because the funny story is, I'll tell you real quick, Ann and I were talking about last night. When I was a DJ in college, I didn't play them. I didn't know who he was. And some dude I worked with goes, hey, have you ever played? He goes, hey, man, play some Dave Matthews. I go, oh, I don't have any Dave Matthews. He goes, you don't have any Dave Matthews? You don't know who Dave Matthews is? I was a grunge guy, right? I'm like, no, I'm playing Nirvana, Soundgarden, you know what I mean? All that stuff. Had no idea. And then I played it, and I liked the way his album cover looked on the CD-ROM, right? Is that what we call them? CD-ROM?
I don't think ROM was necessarily,
That's
but
predated.
CD, like
CDs.
yes.
Not DVDs.
Or
CD,
you would get the people that say, I've got a CD disc. You just, wait a minute. You just said the same word. Anyway.
Compact disc. I got a compact
I'm going to go
disc
to
disc.
the ATM machine.
Yeah.
You just said, never mind. Anyway.
You're going to go to the automatic teller machine. That's funny. But I saw it, and I popped it in, and I was like, wow. He goes, play Satellite. And I go, oh, okay. Played it, and thought it was an odd name for a song. Put it in there, then played Ants Marching after that, and I was like, man, dude, let me hold on to that for a while. And he goes, okay.
Did you hold on to it permanently? Which I'm guessing,
No, it was the bar had its own stack of CDs, and then you had your personal, and then so I put his in my personal, and then brought it back because I was there every Friday, Saturday. So, and he was a bartender.
Oh, so
Yeah.
a bartender turns you on to Dave Matthews.
Yeah, and I was like,
So I gotta ask,
man, thoroughly
hearing
impressed.
that story, the first thing that it reminds me or makes me think of, were you the same way with like REM? Because REM
I liked
seemed
REM.
Yep.
I loved
But
it. Yeah.
were you kind of the same way with them, or
Played
you
it
kind of
back.
like
It wasn't real,
yeah.
Same thing. So it's funny you say that, because Alanis Morissette, REM, Dave Matthews, Cranberries were all stuff I never played or listened to, and then the girls wanted to hear that.
gone way too soon? The
Yeah.
singer Cranberries.
Right.
Oh,
They wanted to hear
what a,
that,
What a voice.
especially Alanis Morissette. You know, I can just see it in my head, hearing it, and people are, all the girls singing the song. But she's coming up soon too, so it'll be exciting. She's after there's a lot of good concerts at the Ruoff. I got to tell you, dude, they lined it up this year. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, and I must have looked early because I didn't. I didn't.
Well,
see
they just
anything.
added Post Malone like last
No,
week or something. I'm not excited about that. I don't really
I don't
know
know
a lot
what
about
that
his
is.
music, but I mean, go from James Taylor to Dave Matthews, to the one I'm going to on a Thursday night, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, it's like legend. You know what I mean?
The legend going to see legends.
Wow, yeah. I don't want to be legend. Trucking legend going to.
So, what's in just your opinion? There's no wrong answer. What's the best show at Ruoff you've ever seen, or Deer Creek, or whatever you're calling
I'm
it?
still gonna go to. It was Deer Creek when I saw it. I'm still gonna go to the Who. Yeah, I'm still gonna, and it's not my favorite band.
You've mentioned that. I forgot.
It's not my favorite band, but
they did the best.
I mean, dude, it was.
What year would have that?
Unbelievable.
What year would have
Early
that been?
2000s.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the last times they were like touring heavily and sounding good. I mean, it was unbelievable. I remember being in the audience and, or not in the crowd.
I get what you mean.
And I was with roadway people, a couple customers. It was just a great crowd. My boss was there. He and I got along great. We were good friends.
Was it a roadway sponsored event then?
Yeah, roadway paid for it.
Touche.
Yeah.
Boom. Well
Yeah.
done.
And so I sitting there, and my boss and Phil Christoph look at me, their roadway, and they go, "Man, what do you think you'll play next?" And I go, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Who are you?" And if you were the first to enter the crowd, you got a chain with the Who glass thing that lit up in orange Who colors, and it had their logo. It's cool. Shelby still has that. My daughter got it. Lights up. It's pretty cool. So then, and then they played that song.
Cool.
And then they were like, "Oh my God, you called it."
What do I want to? In my head, I'm thinking if Roadway was still open today, that they would have bought your pass. They would pay. They would have paid for those 2
Yeah, I
passes.
could have
you got.
expensed it.
That's my point. Yeah.
I could have expensed it.
Not no more.
Yeah, no,
It's not the same.
stuff like that doesn't happen anymore. Could have expensed it, and heck, you could expense. When I was in Central Illinois, I expensed Illinois football tickets, season tickets. I expensed Illini basketball tickets. I had every dude. It was crazy. I used to host a tailgate, and
I can see that.
in Roadway would bring a 28-foot pup out.
Kind of like Big Ed did
Yeah.
when he.
He'd show up. Yeah.
When
yeah.
he did. Remember when he had that UPS
Right.
van,
Yeah.
truck, whatever it was.
Yeah. We had a 20. He'd bring a Ed was the terminal manager for me out there.
I'll be damned.
And he'd bring we would get a 28-foot pup out there. We didn't do it toward the end though. The
a lot of
campus
work.
didn't want that. Yeah, it was a lot of work. And then they would let me expense all the food. It was a good time, man. And we'd have
The campus didn't want it.
Yeah, they were kind of for some reason, and it's a long story and I won't get into it, but the Big Ten overall in Illinois were very logo, very conscious of that.
As they should be.
Yeah, and
I'm fine with that.
yeah, so they were very. I think Illinois may have been one of the last ones to like give up its logos so people could
Trademark
resell
stuff.
them. Yeah, trademark. Yeah, so they were very resistant to that. And then, so anyways, and then they expensed all when the Bears had to redo Soldiers Field. I had a buddy in Chicago that had season tickets, and they let me expense all those. So he didn't. I had to give them back to him. But they said, "Here, take the tickets because we're not going to come. You know, hey, we're in Chicago. We're not driving down to Champaign, dude. I mean, that's like
Champagne's a different state.
that's like 10 states away to these people, right? It's like, oh my God. And I kept saying it's only like 2.5 hours. And they're like, "No, dude, I don't want to fight that traffic on I-57. And oh my God, I'm just going to stay here in my little nutshell and in the village." You know, it's like, oh,
I went to a football game last season in Indiana Wesleyan University. It's a little NAIA school.
Yeah.
Up north, like Taylor, Indiana.
great school.
Very nice school.
Yeah.
They have a very strict, and I still can't wrap my head around this. No alcohol on campus.
Really?
Period. No alcohol.
Wow.
And when the game starts, tailgating has to end.
Yeah. Southern
Period.
Illinois was like that too.
That makes zero sense to me. In my head, I cannot wrap my head around that. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
None.
Well, here's partially why I think. Southern Illinois, when I went there, we were good at basketball. We were horrible at football. And they would shut down the tailgate and force people to go to the game. Yeah. And so it was like, everything was over, dude. And then people would just be like, well, you know, a dumb college student would be like, wait a minute, I could just go back to my apartment and drink.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
have to
tailgate at
stay.
my apartment. F this. That
So
makes-
everybody, it was funny. You'd see like thousands of people at the tailgate, and then when the game started, they weren't going that way. They were going this way, away from the stadium. Right. I think I only went to. I'm a big sports fan, you know that. I think I only went to like 3 or 4 football games, but I went to a ton of basketball ones. Yeah.
In my 15 years at Marion University, I've half dozen, maybe 10 at the most. I just don't. You start tailgating, and you're like, yeah. And there are people that stay out there the entire. It's not just me. Mm-hmm. You know, you're just like final score 67-0. I guess I missed that one.
The best is the people that I was at a Purdue Ohio State game years ago. Me and Ray Klassen.
I love Ray Klassen.
Yeah, beautiful man. So then, so we go there, and I was shocked at all the people that had these RVs and 70-inch, 90-inch, 100-inch TV screens that just sat out there. There was one dude that pulled out a couch. Couch is in a recliner, and propped up his TV, and was just wasn't going into the game. And I was like, "What the heck?"
Is he the smart one?
Probably, because it was packed in there. And
at Ross-Ade or in
yeah,
Columbus?
It was at Ross-Ade. Yeah, it was a great game. Purdue almost won that game. It was exciting. Being a Buckeye fan, I was not excited about that, but Purdue played one heck of a game. They were number one. It was when Ohio State was number one. I think they had to come back, and they beat Purdue by 1.
Was it a night game?
Yeah, it was.
All right. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. It was a good scene, and that's a good place to see a football game.
I used to have season tickets to Purdue football.
Yeah, I had one of the best times I ever had at a tailgate. Yeah, Mark Trump met us there. He went.
Trumper went too.
Yeah, Klassen was there. Mark's wife came. He had tickets with another customer, and me and Klassen. I think I just drove up because Klassen had an extra ticket. Yeah, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. And
he had a nice little tailgate setup. Not fancy. He had a decent tailgate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's probably what we were doing there. We were playing cornhole and all that. It was a good time. Mm-hmm. I had a great time.
He used to tailgate over by the airport. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's okay. So they have a customer. They had a customer that was a pilot, and I can't remember what account he's at, but he flew in and landed, and we got there early, and he saw him flying in, and they go, "That's his plane," and then he was there in like 20 minutes later, and yeah,
it's a long ass haul from that tailgate to Ross-Ade.
Right,
it's a long haul.
It is.
Did you ride the bus, or do you remember?
Drove.
No.
Oh, we walked.
Woo.
Yeah. Walked it.
Dang, Producer Tony.
We hiked it. You're right, that was a long walk. Purdue's got a weird setup there, but I enjoyed it. That campus is probably underrated a bit. It's not a bad little campus.
I bet if you and I went there now, it would not even remotely
look like what it did.
I'm guessing.
I think you're right. I haven't been on the campus in a while.
It's been a minute here too. I'm just guessing. Yeah. It's not gonna.
Right.
I don't think I have to your point, and I know we're already way off topic, but I have a friend of mine that's a CFO of a bank, and he went to Purdue, and he firmly says, he goes, there is no way I could get into Purdue today. No way. Based off of the criteria, based off of, he's like, dude, I barely got through high school. And he goes, there is zero chance I would have gotten into Purdue. Well, zero.
It seems like Purdue's made it more accessible for Indiana people in the regard of tuition. They haven't raised their tuition in like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's hard to get in academically anywhere. But you know what though? Some of these places are not doing ACTs anymore. So I don't know. I think it depends where you're gonna go. You probably get in. I know you get in somewhere.
Did you do SIU pre-military or post-military?
Post. Yeah, I didn't have to take.
And you didn't have any issues with getting in? Or
no,
nothing?
I didn't have. So here's what happens. So if you're coming out of high school trying to get into a college, it's going to be harder than if you're not. I had taken extension classes while I was in the military through Southern Illinois, had a military program. And so I was already done with some credit work and accepted by them. So through the military, they were going to accept you. Illinois has had one of the best, I think most states do it now, but Illinois had one of the best veteran programs in the country. They were one of only 2 states, them in Arizona, that if you were a veteran, you go to any state college for free. So that meant my portion, the GI Bill, which was very, very low, it was not free, they accepted me. But I had taken the ACT in high school and didn't do so well. But
I don't know that I could do high school, and I legitimately mean that. I'm not so sure that I could get through high school nowadays.
my educational plan coming out of high school was small school or junior college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to a junior college because it was pretty inexpensive. My dad paid for it. And then I was kind of like, I'm just going to get out of here, go see the world, see some action. I'm going to join the military,
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that was a good time though at Southern Illinois. It's a lot of people don't know it's the second biggest campus in the state of Illinois. It's one of the biggest in the country. There's 26 to 30,000 students there when they're in session. It's a big one. I think U of I's Illinois is bigger, but
Is Bradley in Illinois, or where's
Bradley? Bradley's a small school, very very good school in Peoria, Illinois. Probably 8 to 12,000 students, maybe. There's a lot of colleges in Illinois too.
So Illinois, Northwestern, Bradley, SIU,
Eastern Illinois, Illinois State.
okay.
You got a ton of them. What's the private one? Milliken.
Northwestern's private. Milliken's in Illinois.
There's one in Illinois. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Milliken? It might be Milliken. Yeah. Then you got DePaul, Loyola, University of Chicago, University of Illinois Chicago Circle Campus, University Southern Illinois.
My head just exploded.
Yeah, Southern Illinois actually has like 3 campuses. They have east of St. Louis in Illinois. They have one. They have one in Edwardsville. That's where that is. Carbondale, and then they have another one somewhere. I mean, it's huge. It's a business, man. I mean, it's huge.
But it shouldn't be cost what it costs. I don't think.
No, these people talk about free education. If you were to take what the Ivy League's worth, their what do they call it? What do they call it? I'm a little spacey this morning, David. Their worth, their endowments.
Yeah.
Okay, if you take all their endowments, it's over $1 billion. I mean, if you were, this is the money they make and invest. It's all the Ivy League together would be $1 billion. You put the Big Ten together, it's a ton of money.
Yeah.
If you want free education, all they have to do is give some back.
I bet
education all throughout the country for decades.
I bet most or all of the Big Ten universities are hundreds of millions in endowments.
I think Michigan might be the most.
Yeah, it's Michigan and then Northwestern.
Yeah.
Marion has an extensive endowment, and Marion's a little bitty.
Yeah, right. So these people talk about free education. I mean, these places are worth the hundreds, and I want them to be rich, but I mean.
Then too, you hear a lot of universities that are going under too.
Yeah.
Concordia University in Michigan, that's a private little NAI.
Did it go under? Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Like last week or the week before or whatever. I mean, you kind of hear, if you're paying attention to it, you kind of hear about it, not every day, but more often than what you should hear about it. Whatever, producer Tony needing the coffee on a early Saturday morning after
sad.
The Dave Matthews. What is your set when you're all right? So like last night, you go into the show. Do you guys go out to eat first? Do you just
we're both on diets, David. I ate a pretzel with mustard
at the game at the concert?
Yeah, pretty good. And got the nachos. I ate some of those nachos. Their food's not bad at the better than you think. Mm-hmm. It's
Will you be able to buy groceries this week or? I'm just assuming that pretzels and nachos at the concert are like,
with beer.
Yeah.
Humid, out, hot, you're sweating. Usually we eat we'll get something before we eat. This stuff's there's pretty expensive, man. And their beers are like so freaking tall. It's like, there's so
in one out three kind of. You drink one, 3 come out.
Yeah, it's just like, what the hell? Who invents a can that big? But because it's so hot out, like it's going to be warm unless you pound the thing. So Ann and I found a concession that has Coors Banquet short cans. And they only have like several cases a night, and they put them in like the soda section. So we've been going there and saying, hey, we've been buying like 1 or 2 at a time. And then, because those are the regular cans.
A 12-ounce.
Yeah, 12-ounce can. And yeah, those beers, those cans are like, you can't stand it, man. They're like, because I don't drink that fast. And I mean, like, it's like, you know, halfway to a quarter down. It's like drinking hot water, man. It's not good. Yeah.
Speaking of hot, I thought of you this morning driving over. Producer Tony is a heat guy, and I am
Love
not.
the heat.
It was 82 effing degrees
love
driving over this morning. I flipping hate summer. And I'm like, Tony, I just...
Dude, when it was in the 90s, I was like, oh, this is awesome, man. I hope this lasts till Labor Day.
Worst season of the year. My opinion. We all have opinions.
Love it, dude. Next week's my favorite week of the entire year.
That's why I'm a little surprised, and I'm overly joyed that we're doing this morning. But I'm like, all right, I know he's got Dave Matthews. I know he's on vacation, blah, blah, blah. So we're probably not going to record this morning. I'm glad we are. But I'm just kudos to you, sir, for having the fortitude to be here on a beautiful Saturday morning.
4th of July next week, man.
Yeah.
Big time. America's birthday.
I still wish, and I know we've had this discussion 5 million times, I really wish it was an observed holiday.
This should be. I was
on
talking
the
about
first Friday.
Yeah,
no other
that's what I
day.
said. Should always
No
be on
other
Friday.
day.
Yep.
The first Friday of July.
Yeah, whether it's the 2nd,
Yes.
the
Whether
8th,
it's
like kind of like Thanksgiving.
yes,
Right?
it should be the first Friday of every July.
Yeah.
Are you guys open? We're open Friday. Are you all
we
open
are.
Friday?
Yeah.
Damn dumbest thing.
Yeah.
So 4th of
I got
July
a customer
is on
that takes the whole
Thursday.
week off. Whatever week the 4th's on, they take it all off. I was like, man, that's awesome. They get paid too for it.
You don't hear that.
No, it's great. I'm like, that's incredible.
I like the holiday. I love the holiday. I just wish it was observed.
Yeah, dude.
That's the
America's birthday.
why. How is it not observed? I had this conversation with somebody like Wednesday this week. He goes, "It is observed." I go, "No, it's not observed. It's the same damn day every year. It's not observed. For it to be observed, Memorial Day is observed.
It's not like Labor Day. Or
Yes, Memorial Day is
yeah.
observed. Labor Day is observed.
Yeah.
And they need to be observed holidays.
Exactly.
He just didn't get it. He goes, "It is." Like, well, no, shut up. It is not an observed holiday. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's and what's crazy is it's kind of, I was hearing fireworks like last night. I'm like,
The 4th of July starts on, and I'm not exaggerating this comment. It starts on Memorial Day in Lebanon. I'm dead serious, dude. I am dead effing serious. That's another thing. I'm all for the yay.
yeah, it's funny.
There's a time where it's too much. You're like, shut that shit off. I gotta be at work. Like, so I have to be at work midnight Friday morning. So I get, I'm not. This is what it is. I'm not.
That stinks, David.
I don't understand why can you imagine heads that'll explode if we made 4th of July an observed holiday? I mean, you can't be that.
We can't sell the
It's not
flag.
gonna be on the 4th of July.
People will be burning flags. It's crazy, man.
I don't get
Did
it.
you see the debate?
I'm gonna say, I don't want to. I never want to talk about this. We are an embarrassment
Yeah.
as a country. The world should be laughing at us.
I think they are.
That is
I think they are.
too embarrassing. That is so bad.
Oh man,
I'll leave it go at that.
I
That's
kind
the
of
only
turned
thing
it
I'm gonna
off,
say.
man. I'm like,
I didn't
this
watch
is-
it at all. That was my sleepy time.
Oh,
I did the next day.
enough said.
Yep. So can I complain?
Yeah.
I'm gonna complain. I don't give a shit. Christy Sides still has a job.
I know.
For those of you that don't know, Christy Sides is the coach of the Indiana Fever.
Yeah.
And I told Tony this. I don't remember if I said it on air. I don't remember if I told Tony this in person. The Fever are going to screw this up, this Caitlin Clark thing up, and they are fucking this up.
You know what I was thinking?
I am embarrassed.
You know what I was thinking? She should just go to the European League. Why doesn't she go to the European League? I was looking at their salaries. She could make more money in the European League.
Caitlin Clark, you mean?
Yeah. She should just abandon this bullshit and go play in a European League, make more money, get respected, and frickin' win a European championship. I mean, at this point, does it really matter? I mean, you'd make more money. Her money's really coming from the endorsements. They're still going to endorse her in Europe. So,
did you see the big mural on the J-Dub?
No.
Big Caitlin Clark probably takes up, I'll say 20 floors probably.
Oh, they did? Okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Beautiful mural. We are effing this up.
We are.
The Indiana Fever are an embarrassment of a franchise.
Well, and they've got very powerful voices now talking about Christy Sides.
But it shouldn't just be Christy Sides. It
No,
should be
I know.
Lynn Dunn.
Right.
The entire everybody effing gone.
Well, I'm not going to say.
No, go ahead.
No,
No.
it's just a shame. And yeah, they have really. It's like oh, we got one of the greatest players ever, but it's a downer for some reason, right? Like what the hell's that about? Like because she's white? I mean, what the hell's the deal? It just doesn't make sense. She should go to the European League. She'll make more money, be more happier, and wouldn't have to deal with all this crap. It's just crap.
Yeah,
What
it is
It's
crap.
just stupidity.
I'm with you. There is part of me that's wondering why do this? Why put yourself through this mess?
Yeah, she's a very resilient, strong person. I admire her. I admired her for her basketball skills, but I ultimately now admire her for her personality. She is a resilient. She's a class act.
Let's go back 3 drafts. Alyssa Smith taken number 2 overall. Last year, Leah Boston taken number 1 overall. And last year, or whatever, we took Caitlin Clark number 1. And this is where we're at.
Yeah.
This year, we took Caitlin Clark. We are the laughing stock
Got
of
to
the
be
NBA.
the program, right?
It's from the top.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassment.
And they didn't make any moves. They could have made some moves, right? And they got a player that shouldn't be playing, shouldn't be starting, really.
Yeah.
Can't catch a pass.
Christy Wallace.
Can't catch a pass.
Not to mention names.
Yeah, can't catch a pass. I mean, my God.
It's terrible. They play at Phoenix tomorrow. I just don't. When they come back off of this road trip, she should be fired. Just absolutely fired. But it needs to start at the top. It has to come all the way down. It's such an embarrassment.
Well, here the good news is they're 7-12. So the Dream's 7-9 and in 3rd place. So but it's not like this team. You just don't see this team catching fire, right? I mean, I just don't see it. They're 6-4 in their last 10. So it just looks like Liberty's going to run away with it.
Yeah. Yeah. To your point, we didn't make any moves to better ourselves.
If they just would have made one big move.
You look at the Liberty, they're built. Connecticut's built. Strong franchises. Seattle, Minnesota, Seattle. But the feet, oh my gosh. They just have not put together well.
Yeah.
And then you cut your defensive player this week, Chelsea Taylor. Come on.
They did.
And she was drafted this year. You cut your 2nd round draft pick already.
Wow.
Just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Just a laughing stock of a franchise. It's an embarrassment. You and I are supposed to go to a game in about a week and a half.
July
If
10th.
I see the coach, I will say, without reservation, you should be fired. I'm dead serious, dude. If we get anywhere
Nice
near, seriously, you have a job.
We might not be able to see the game if that happens.
You can't. Speaking your, yeah. Anyway,
Turn that music off there.
and the Cubs are not.
No, that division's weird, man. Oh, crap. I got out of that screen. But, David, let's talk about this real quick. There's some big news in the LTL industry, man. So I'm reading an article from the legendary John Schultz from Logistics, latest logistics news. So FedEx, what's that?
give you $1 if you can say the FedEx president's name in the first try.
I don't know who it is.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
I can't. So
What is it? Try it.
I don't know. Raj Sub.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, close
Words.
enough. Close
A
enough.
lot of consonants there with no syllables.
Fourth quarter earnings FedEx $5.41 from sales of $22.1 billion. That was ahead of Wall Street's estimates. While these results were solid, FedEx then added a trucking industry negation explosion in its news release. That's when it disclosed that it was conducting an assessment of its FedEx Freight division. FedEx Freight is a less than truckload subsidiary of FedEx. It was created in 2001 when FedEx acquired and merged with assets of American Freightways, Viking, and Watkins Motor Freight. It has since become the largest LTL carrier in the space. In 2022, it posted $10.18 billion in revenue, an 18% boost in revenue from the previous year, according to figures composed. But last year, FedEx Freight slipped. Its revenue slipped 10.6% to $9.01 billion. According to SJ Consulting, it's still ranked as the largest LTL carrier. So I'm not going to read
By
this whole
dollars.
thing. Yeah, right. So FedEx stock's only up 1% this year. Investors are concerned about slowing demand for its freight division. So we've seen them shut down some terminals, right?
Yep.
when they started doing that, I kind of thought, man, that's odd. So it does look like they, and then here's a brief from Colin Campbell, senior reporter from FreightWaves. They're kind of looking at it as it might be a sale or spinoff. So FedEx is reviewing its role in its portfolio structure. CEO Raj Subramanian.
Hey, there we go.
Said in the fourth quarter.
Good job.
Earnings call to Tuesday, hinting at a possible sale or spinoff at LTL carrier. A such move would be the largest LTL carrier by revenue, would come as a parcel giant searches for savings, efficiencies, and more stability. When they combined all those other ones, they saved $4 billion. So we saw UPS do it. So UPS sold its UPS Freight division, formerly known as Overnight Corp, to TFI for $800 million in 2021. TFI renamed the company Transforce Freight. TFI is planning a spinoff of Dasky and other truckload holdings. XPO, FedEx Freight boasts its largest real estate network of any U.S. carrier. The move would come as the giant parcel has moved to reduce the cost and merged its ground and express units into a single entity. That saved the company $4 billion in savings. So don't know. Kind of interesting, though.
I got to think that the market could sustain that loss.
Yeah, I do too, but who would buy it?
Oh, no, I don't think anybody should buy it.
Well,
I think it should. I mean, if somebody buys it, so be it.
The terminals would be needed, wanted. It's a lot of space.
Okay. Wasn't thinking about that.
I wonder how. Well, it'd be worth $10 billion. Wow.
Central Transport.
That would clean them up. They'd get a little cleaner if that happened.
They're still not.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah. Wow. XPO, Old Dominion, Estes would be the ones in the ballpark to do it, but that's a lot of money. Yeah, Saya.
That's what I'm saying. Is it worth that? I mean, I get the property.
Could chunk it
I wasn't
off.
even thinking about that.
Yeah, the property's what they would want. The space. There's not enough.
I was thinking though
space.
that the market could sustain.
Oh yeah, I
the
think
loss
so.
of.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. It'd move on like it normally does.
Like
Yep.
with yellow.
Yeah. Yep. They said in the article the industry's still reeling from the yellow exiting, but I don't. The only thing would be the property, because yellow's still trying to hold on to it. That'd be the only caveat in that mix. Other than that, I think the industry's moved on, man. Just like we did from CF and all the others, right? So
Yeah, I wouldn't be. We don't even give FedEx the time of day.
yeah. Do you do small package with them?
For now.
Okay.
We're gonna switch to UPS next week.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
because again, and you and I have had this discussion 1,000 times, that if you're not gonna take care of the customer, I have no business for you. So
Right.
FedEx doesn't do that, so we are moving on.
FedEx. So that's some industry news, David. You've got the, you, my friend, have David B. with the hot 1994 list of the greatest music of 1984.
Right. 1994.
Oh, 84. 94. Yeah,
94,
my bad.
yeah,
I'm stuck.
so-
It's been a rough morning. It's a rough night.
Into the grunge era. And so I was, like most Saturdays, unfortunately, I don't do any homework, and I didn't do any homework
my
today.
God.
Yeah, Tony already sees it. I'm embarrassed to discuss this year, especially when you look at what the quote unquote, according to Billboard magazine, what the number one song
What is it?
of 1994.
Ace of Base?
The Sign.
Oh, my
I
God.
saw the sign. I hate. How is that? If that is, we're into the grunge era, solid or whatever, and we come out in 1994 with that being your number one song. No offense, Tony, and I love you, but this makes me just feel like closing the laptop up, and I'm going to go ahead and go home for the day because that's an absolute embarrassment. And I don't even know what number 2 is.
Jeez,
I do.
boring.
I guess I do kind of know what not, but. Number 2 song of 1994 is "I Swear" by All for One. No clue who that band is. Don't even ever hear it. This is the year I got married, by the way. And
Congratulations.
for congratulations to Tracy. So she's never listening.
Should we
anyway.
call her? Tracy.
Yeah, she's
He
not,
said that?
she's not listening. She's like, who?
Oh, man. I've switched over to the top country hits. And
You know what? I'm
Faith Hill.
I am. How many songs into this top 10 in 1994? I can tell by the name of the songs. I don't know most of these. Or any of them.
It's like, what was I doing in 94 that was not listening to that?
Yeah, there's no. But I've been so out of the loop. I mean, this is probably when I started kind of getting out of whatever the loop is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you told me that Milli Vanilli isn't popular now, I'd be like, what do you mean Milli Vanilli's not popular? I think you're full of poop.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm not seeing, again, I'm not seeing, nothing's jumping out here, you know. I will say Salt and Pepper at number 14. What a Man. I do like that
I like
song.
Salt and Pepper.
Mm-hmm. 2 very beautiful women. 3 very beautiful women, excuse me. Yeah. Speaking of, I don't want to go down that route. Tony Braxton, Smoke Show. So, yeah, I mean, you go further down, the songs are better than what, you know, if you go a little further down on the list, the songs get better than whatever's at the top of the list. But how you have...
Okay.
Collective Soul makes an appearance at number 31 with Shine.
That was a good...
I think Big Lefty goes to see Collective Soul when they're around.
They used to come to Southern Illinois. They played there. I think they might be from St. Louis or something.
Really?
They might have a St. Louis Midwest connection. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Collective Soul. That's a good song.
Crash Test Dummies.
I don't remember them.
The song goes.
Don't remember it.
You're better
Where
off.
was I? Oh, I was in the Iraq War in 1994. Wait, is that right? No, I was out. No, I was in college. Yeah. Gosh, what a
Wow.
rough night.
Right now. Those are kind of sometimes those can be the best nights.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Spaced
I have
and
zero
tired.
idea. I have zero knowledge of how I got home last night. Zero. I'm dead serious, dude. Driving over this morning, I have a 45-minute drive from my house to here. And I had the entire time, and even right now, I'm like, how in the F did I get home? Seriously, dude. I'm like, how did I get home? And I know I didn't pay for my, because of Fridays I don't pay for my Uber. I'm like, how the F did I text the dude? I was out with Elliot. And I'm like, I know I texted him at 4:00 this morning. I'm like, great night. I don't know. I don't remember a damn thing. A damn thing. We went to see Sean. I do know we went to see Sean. But after that, no idea how I got home.
Oh my God.
Zero.
Oh my God.
And I feel bad for whoever that Uber driver was. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I'm not
You're
just
like
saying
waking
that.
up wondering, hey, am I home? I hope I'm home.
No, well, there's that. And the next morning,
there's a video of you somewhere walking around.
so to your point with that, I freaking hate door cams, and of course we have.
Did you review it? Did you look at it?
But Tracy always does, and she's always like, "You want to see how you looked last night?"
Oh,
no,
man.
not particularly.
Here's you coming in.
Not particularly.
Oh,
and
God,
so
that's funny.
every Saturday morning, it's a puzzle to find wherever I left.
Hasn't
things.
Hannah showed you something before?
But I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I like my Fridays. I'm not looking, even though
That's funny.
But and it's always like, where are things? Like my shorts are here, my billfold's
My
here,
wallet.
my watch is there,
Your wallet's in your hand.
my sunglasses are
still on.
yes, still on. Producer Tony
That's hilarious.
Producer Tony from 3.
Boom. That is funny.
So that's all the entire drive coming over. I'm like, how did I get home? What was I in?
Yeah.
Who drove me?
No
I feel
clue.
bad for that person.
That's hilarious.
Zero.
You're probably like,
Zero.
I love you, man.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
this is great.
Yeah, this is the best ride ever. Get the F out of my car. Drunk F.
And maybe you
Jesus.
laid down and went to sleep and he just woke you up and said you're here. Who knows?
Maybe. I hope not.
Because that's a long, how long is that?
About a half hour.
I'd be falling asleep.
Well,
Me.
Yeah. And I'm already up. So like Fridays, I'm up 24 hours. That's a 24 hour. That's a complete 24-hour day
Oh, I
for
know.
me. That's a complete 20. And
You had to
I
be
try to
tired.
take a nap, but it never ever happens. Like if I sit in my chair at the house, I'd probably be like, I'm out. But if I lay down to try to take a nap, you're just like, bloop, it's just fucking anyway.
Maybe
So,
the great device should just get a cot for you somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. That would be I'd wake up and Sean would be laying right next to me. I'd be, no, what happened
God,
here?
that's funny. Yeah, you'd be like, whoa. This
Would I like
oh.
lift the?
Yeah,
am I wearing
no,
pants?
No. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's not
That's
a
funny.
good idea. That's not a good idea.
Soundgarden number.
Producer Tony, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Hit me.
I'm a little disappointed that you haven't mentioned the throwback Indianapolis
Oh,
Indians
yeah,
jersey
that's a
from
cool-
the Montreal Expo
That's
era,
a cool. Where did you get that at?
at the Victory Field. So I'm wearing
This year?
No.
That's sharp. I like it. I was going to say something.
So I'm wearing a throwback Indianapolis Indians jersey from we used to be in the late 80s, early 90s, AAA affiliate of the Montreal Expos.
Yeah.
This is where that jersey's from.
It's nice.
Yeah.
The sleeve's cool because it's got the red and blue there.
Yeah, it's the Montreal Expos
Boom, baby.
era. Shout out to Willie Mays for
Oh, yeah. Willie Mays passed away.
what a life. What a life.
Hey, Willie Mays.
Say hey, Willie.
Yep, the miracle catch, man. Remember that? Turned around and caught
Yeah,
it over
yeah.
his shoulder.
Yeah. Don't ever
Impressive.
do that again.
No. Hey, that's not the way we do it. Really?
Oh, what a life.
Yeah. I know.
Unfortunate. I mean, an unfortunate experience having to deal with all that.
Yeah.
crap. And realistically, that
Talk about
wasn't
character.
that long ago.
No. Talk about character, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out
So
to
the
Willie
best
Mays.
the best grunge album, 94, Soundgarden, Super Unknown. I remember that.
I do too. A lot of songs came off of that album. When Spoon Man and all
Yeah.
that was that off of that album.
Yep.
I think.
Pearl Jam number 5. Alice in Chains number 7. Very underrated band, Alice in Chains.
To this day,
Yeah.
I think.
Stone,
Right.
Stone Temple Pilots came out with Purple. Sponge number 12. Bush, 16 Stone. That was a big one.
Yeah.
It looks like grunge did pretty good that year.
Bush was underrated.
Yeah, very underrated. Well, I'll tell you a quick story.
Please.
Went to see him in concert
All
in
right.
college.
All
They,
right.
they didn't show up.
What?
They didn't show up. No Doubt played before them, opened up.
They lost their way to Carbondale.
I don't think they made it, dude. Well, I know they didn't make it. So she played all night. She played for an extra hour and a half. Did incredible job. Incredible. Forget her name. Highly talented, man. It was a great show.
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, there we go.
Boils from 3.
Boom. David from the other side of the court with the inbound pass. Bah.
But that was when she was with No Doubt.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Highly talented. Stood and played for an hour and a half, and then said, "No, they're not going to make it, but we're going to stay and play."
Was just like Carbondale? Nah.
It was wild. Yeah, I'm like, Carbondale? We got flying to St. Louis and drive? What? We're not doing this. Closest city, St. Louis. I think it's closest city, St. Louis, or Paducah, Kentucky. I guess you could fly into Paducah.
Well, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
When you're making vacation plans
Paducah.
or travel plans,
Yeah.
it's Paducah to Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's on the list. High. Yeah,
Right.
I get it.
It was probably like a very small airport. But yeah, so they never showed up. But
Paducah,
yeah, Highland Ray.
Paducah International.
Paducah Worldwide International.
Mm.
Yeah, next to St. Louis.
Hmm.
But it's not.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah. We take St. Louis's overflow.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to try not to laugh during this entire segment. Here, producer Tony got me.
Boom.
So yeah, well done.
So yeah, it looked like a big year in grunge. It looks like grunge had a 7-year bitch. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I haven't either. It was number 4.
Was that the artist or the album?
It's the artist.
Mm-hmm.
7-year bitch.
Man, I have a comment to that, but I don't want to stay married. So.
And some of them, I don't know. King's X. Do you know them?
No.
Veruca Salt.
Yes. Very good.
Number 11.
Absolutely. And I'm not just saying that. Very good.
Sponge was number 12. I remember they had one big hit. Yeah, pretty
So
good.
wait, so Veruca Salt, I think they're probably their song they're most common known for is Seether. Sea can't fight the Seether.
I don't remember that.
Next time we're at a place with a jukebox.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I'm going to go to Square Cut Vinyl today.
Oh.
So, and the reason why these people don't listen, and neither does my wife, that remember when you and I were in there and the substitute teacher was working? She worked Saturday mornings.
Oh, nice.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
So,
Enjoy that.
yes, I will. I
Yeah.
did last Saturday, and because I was already kind of, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm already.
She's a nice lady.
And I just pulled up. I have no idea. And I go, what's your name? She's like, Emily. She goes, we've met. I'm like, yeah, you're the substitute teacher. And when I was leaving, she goes, maybe I'll see you next Saturday. Yeah, you will.
You'll be there.
Yeah,
I need to be.
yeah.
I'm going back to school.
I'm going.
Yeah. I need you to teach me arithmetic.
It's the attitude.
yeah.
when
She's
you get
pleasant.
yes, when you are respectfully, and that's why you and I go where we go to get lunch
Yeah.
or beers
Yeah.
or whatever. That's why we go where we go,
Yeah.
and that's the epitome in how you're treated, how you should be treated as a customer.
Exactly.
My opinion.
So
I'll leave it at that.
I switched it over to alternate rock.
Is there a difference between
Yeah.
grunge and alternate rock?
They got the grunge in here. Oasis number 2, Nirvana Unplugged in New York is number 3 in 1994.
Oasis
Jeff Buckley.
underrated, or are they overrated?
I think they're underrated.
Yeah, I would go with that
yeah.
too.
Yeah, Jeff Buckley at number 4, an incredible guitarist.
Now, how old was he then? Right,
Who?
Jeff Buckley at that year. I mean,
Probably in his 40s.
okay, all right, good. Not old then.
Nah. We
Everybody's young in my book.
excuse me. Allergies, man. 7-year bitch is still on there. Weezer.
Yep.
The Blue Album.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl Jam Vitology.
I saw Weezer
They're pretty good.
at the Mira.
You did?
Me and Big Lefty.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked them.
We saw the
I saw them too. They're good.
we saw the Black Keys kind of back in the day or whatever when they were kind of, and we saw them at Cambridge, and I saw the other day where their tickets for their concert are going for $200 at face value.
Wow.
Who pays that? Am I missing something here? Who pays that money? What are the face values of yours for tonight?
I paid $299 for a season pass.
There you go.
My face
So
value
you could
tonight.
see
my season's already been paid for.
the entire. You can go see every show.
Yep.
For dude, that's a
I mean, how do you not do that?
No brainer.
Yeah, so I've already seen. Wait, tonight we'll pay for it. Tonight I'll be even.
Okay.
Because I've only been to 2.
Who?
Oh, no, I've been to 3. I've already paid for it. Yeah, because I Maroon 5. Well, the
James
face value was
Taylor.
like $100. James Taylor was like $45-$50. And then tonight, Dave Matthews is only $35-$45. But
So you've seen
$90.
James Taylor, Maroon 5,
And
then
Dave Matthews
back to back.
Matthews will be $90 ticket. So yeah, I've already paid for it.
Who after this?
Oh gosh, man, we'll go to Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's $100+ ticket. Because Jake tried to get one. I'm like, man, Jake, we bought him a couple tickets already. I'm like, man, come on, no. So yeah, that's $100, $120, $125. So
When's the Peppers? When is that? If that's fine. If you
July
don't,
30th.
it's a Tuesday.
Wait, July. It's on a Thursday.
So
Because I took it off. Let's see here. I'll tell you real quick. It is
the 27th.
I got it
Then
on my calendar here. I think so.
26th, 27th.
And
somewhere
then
in there.
oh wait, crap. And then what did I hit camera?
I came here today, Tony, not wanting to talk any shop. I'm trying to sabotage the podcast.
25th.
Okay.
And then Alanis Morissette's the 27th.
Who's with Alanis Morissette? Just curious.
Because I don't know.
She was
I've always liked her. She's
the
really
band.
good.
The band that I really want to see is Garbage. I would like to
Yeah.
see Garbage.
They
They were with Alanis Morissette last year.
probably helped create grunge.
Yep. Well, Oh, never mind. I don't know the guy's name. One of the guys.
The producer, yeah, from
Yeah.
Madison, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legend, dude.
What's his name?
He works with Smashing Pumpkins and
Yep.
Pearl Jam
Yep.
and
What's
Nirvana.
his name?
and Foo Fighters. Let me look it up.
That's all right. I don't.
No, I'm gonna look it up because it's important. He's significant to the whole.
Huge, and that he has his own
Story.
band. I
Yeah.
mean, that's my point. Is that he, like Tony said, he did legitimately produced Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana.
Butch Vig.
That's it. Butch Vig. Yeah, and that he has his own band,
Yeah.
Garbage, which I think is underrated.
But if you go on YouTube and listen to him, he talks about how Nirvana gets credit for the grunge. Nirvana wouldn't give themselves credit for it because they said they were just a punk band trying to. Their idols was some punk band in L.A. that they were in love with, and they wanted to be a punk band, and they ended up in the grunge. But he talks about the Smashing Pumpkins were doing some of that stuff way before any of them, because he had worked with them. It's a good story. It's good to watch that. He has an interview with Billy from Pearl Jam.
He's an extremely intelligent
Yeah.
guy, or at least I think he is. It
Who?
seems Butch Vig.
Oh yeah, it's really good. Yeah, Professor of Rock, is that who? No, it wasn't him.
I know who you're talking about. Gray-haired dude.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Rick Beto.
Yep, that's it.
Is that
Mhm.
Rick Beto on YouTube? He's got a good interview with him.
Yeah.
And a good interview with Smashing Pumpkins.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah, it was a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's a good show. I like that. I keep saying,
He interviewed REM not too long ago.
oh, did he? I didn't see that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that. Did he have just the lead singer, or did he have the band, some of the band in there?
The dude with the glasses.
Okay, yeah, yeah. He's got some good segments on there.
It's just asking the right part,
yeah,
right?
He's really into it. So the Rick Beto had on recently, which was shocking to me. It was a recent show. I was going to bring it up, because we were talking about music. The most listened to bands, like historically, you'd be shocked, man. Like who's on that list? Like still currently being downloaded and listened to. Obviously the Beatles. Then
I never was a Beatles.
Nirvana is one. Still, they take all the Spotify, YouTube downloads and they can tell. Gosh dang, who else was it? Eagles were on that list, down on that list, but they were on that list still.
Do you know that the Indianapolis market is the number one market for concert venues in the United States.
I did not know that.
Think about, and I didn't either. I just heard this, like, I think it was Thursday.
Really?
Ruoff, White River.
Yeah.
You know, going on and on. Hi-Fi, Rock the Ruins.
There's stuff going on all over, yeah.
The Vogue.
Mm-hmm. And White River's got a great lineup this year.
The Murat.
Oh, yeah, Murat.
Even going down to Hi-Fi, the Noodle.
Did you hear this somewhere?
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's,
Wow.
Yep. And when I heard it, I go, no, that's not even remotely true.
Yeah.
But then when they broke it down, and I'm like, well, okay. Yeah. I get it. I mean, makes sense.
Because if you look at White River's lineup, so I went to the bathroom at Ruoff, and they had a poster lined up of all the White River people coming. I was surprised.
At Ruoff.
Yes, they had it hanging up because they're a part of the same
I got you.
entity that does something.
Ticketmaster. Or
Yeah. And so they had them all on there, and dude, it looked like it was a lot.
I've been to White River a couple different times.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Yeah.
I've never been to Ruoff, but I have been to White River. And I've seen, some.
And I was impressed. I was like, wow. So, with that pass, if they charged a little bit more money and let you go to either one, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be hard.
It's
Super
not allowed.
Cool. Sounds
So,
just,
yeah, because if it's the same series of ticket people. But yeah, it was. I was surprised that on that list, who was on there. I was like, wow, man, somebody big that doesn't tour usually is going to be on there. I'm trying to think who it was. Because I thought, man, they're definitely coming to Ruoff. And then I was like, going to White River? I was like, wow.
Tedeschi Trucks, they normally play at White River. They're
Do they?
pretty good. They're a pretty good band.
Yeah.
I think.
I was like, wow.
Not
I mean,
great.
that person could sell it out a stadium, I thought. I was
I
like,
see what you're saying.
I was like, whoa. But anyway.
But I mean, if
good stuff.
you're like, if we were, I'd rather play the smaller. Wouldn't you rather play smaller? No matter how big you are? I mean, more intimate or no?
I go back and forth because with it because when I was in Seattle, I was at a lot of the smaller venues and I liked them.
I bet that's a great music.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I mean, you would get a $5 stamp and you could go into any bar and there were bands playing. And my buddies later on told me these bands. We had a buddy that was from there, and he goes, "Hey, we saw them." And I was like, "What? I didn't see Nirvana." He goes, "Well, they weren't really big, but don't you remember the big tall guy, the bassist?" And I was like, "Yeah." I do remember because he was
Chris Novoselic. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Yeah, I remember him." And then we may have saw Mother Love Bone, and I don't remember it, but they told me we did. But so it was just going from like 4 to 5 different places, and it was just, it was really like a free for all for music. It was really impressive. But it was so cheap. It's just $5 to go see these bands, and all these bars were packed.
Early 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah, this was before the Iraq War, yeah, and during that time. So yeah, we had to leave, but yeah, it was an incredible, and what was cool about being there is it seemed to be very it's just a unique place to have that Pioneer Square, which is historical, and then the food was always good. You had a lot of seafood options. Mm-hmm. But anyways, that was a good time.
It's awesome. It's really awesome. Cool. Well, Producer Tony, we didn't talk about shop today.
No shop, just
I'd
the
rather-
FedEx stuff.
Yeah. Those are the better days. Or I think they are. Anyway.
David B.
Good to see you. Happy 4th to you and
You too,
everybody.
brother.
Our billboards, again, if it's not already up, it's going to be back up. 99-mile marker on 65 South, just south of Indianapolis.
Ship's gonna happen. Dave B, we out.
Have a great weekend.
You too.